I have the best job in the world. Yes, I get the opportunity to consult numerous businesses, but the real fun comes meeting with some of the brightest minds about all the exciting and unique things businesses are doing out there. This first episode will be a little background on myself to provide some perspective. From here on out, we'll be interviewing and showcasing some of the most interesting businesses serving our community. Hey guys, Matt Worsham here. Hope all is well with Shepard Walton Employee Benefits. I'm one of the partners of the firm. First time ever doing a podcast, so bear with me. It's going to be interesting. Just going to talk a little bit about where I came from, what I know, and hopefully it'll resonate with some of y'all. So in 2009, I got a phone call from a buddy of mine, and his dad ran an insurance office in Houston. I was living in Fort Worth at the time with a company called Unum. And I didn't know what insurance was. I didn't know what health insurance was. I didn't know how it worked. But I went down and talked to the guy. I thought he had a pretty good living. He was able to provide for his family. And so it was kind of a grueling interview process, 6 interviews and, 3 plane rides later. I took a leap of faith and ran out, and I jumped in with Unum, who was a company that I thought was the best at training insurance professionals, taught me all the stuff I needed to know in order to go out there and call on brokers. And so what I did for a living for a long time, I had a list of brokers that I was supposed to call on, and I was supposed to go sell Unum to them. And so I would walk out, go tell them about all of our different fancy stuff, the new product, the new design, whatever was going along in the industry, whatever that may be. And so with disability and life insurance and worksite products, et cetera, I'd just go educate brokers. And so I started in the Rio Grande Valley, and it was kind of a what they would call a rookie territory at the time. Go cut your teeth. I stayed at the Embassy Suites in McAllen, which is now the DoubleTree, for 2 weeks a month. They knew me by name. It was welcome back, Mr. Worsham. Here's your room. And so I had the process down. It was frequent flyer with Southwest, and off I went. And so a lot of it was relationship building, but for the most part, I was trying to bring expertise. I was trying to figure out what these brokers needed. And over time, I grew and I got better at what I did, and I gained traction in the Houston marketplace, and then it extended to Austin and San Antonio and eventually all of Texas. And over the course of 5 years, I kind of became our public sector expert. So if you're a school district or a municipality, it could have been an association, if you had more than 500 employees and you were looking to do a full-blown offer, you wanted the use of technology, we had the technology partners. That's where I came in. That's where my expertise lied. And the better I got at what I did, the more I thought about all of the smaller independent agents that I'd called on over the course of time. And I'd called on some of the bigger brokers too, but for the most part, in my career, I was doing a lot of the work for these smaller independent agencies throughout really the southern half of Texas, kind of Austin down. And it resonated with me that these school districts were always going to have help. There were always experts, and there was always people wanting to help a 20,000 employer company. There was always a technology solution that was going to work. And the 20, the 30, the 50, the 100 employee groups weren't really getting the attention they deserved. And so started thinking about it, and I started having conversations with our managing partner, Aaron, and just looking at what these employers really needed and why they weren't getting the help they needed, and it was all based around revenue. So these big, gigantic brokers that are out there, they don't want to work with certain revenue accounts or below, and it may be 10,000, maybe 20,000 revenue, maybe 30,000 revenue or below. They couldn't make money on those groups. They couldn't pay their producer to go in and write the insurance and give them all the stuff they needed. Their model's just too expensive. And so, Aaron really taught me the ability to not be greedy, do right by a client. The money will always come if you do right by the client. And you can't really think about it that way. It's go find somebody that needs help, go help them, and move on down the road, and your name will get out there as somebody that's doing good and benefits in the health insurance industry. And so talked with my wife, talked it over, and off I went. I really thought I could help people. I thought I had the expertise, I had the background to bring some of that knowledge that I had that I had used in the jumbo space and bring that back down market, kind of playing opposite George of all the bigger insurance companies out there. So we all love the big companies. My big clients, I love you guys. It's the little guys, the ones that need help, the ones that really make you feel good about what you're doing, make you feel good about the career choice you made. And so since then, that's been my target. I've targeted employers anywhere from 20 employees to about 300. And there's something to be said about doing right by a person and knowing you came in and you offered a level of expertise, but that they couldn't have seen elsewhere, that they weren't getting the help they needed, and their employees weren't getting the communication they needed. So I want to talk a little bit about our firm. Our firm's a little bit unique in that we have remained independent. So a lot of the independent agencies these days they basically sold out. They've gotten to the point where they're just getting overtaken by 8 to 10 guys that walk in suits, and it's 3 ERISA attorneys and an actuary on staff and whatever it may be. The buying power, the person making the decision, is picking a whole bunch of guys in suits instead of one Joe Blow sitting in independent in one space. And our firm, it's comprised of 55 employees, 23 on the benefits side. We're in 3 different locations. We have an office in Austin, office in Houston, and then 3 offices in the Rio Grande Valley where our firm was born. The agency itself knew that we had to get to that next level, had to get to that next step. And so six years ago, my partners made the decision to join UBA, which is United Benefit Advisors. Pretty unique circumstance where it's 140 firms that look, smell, and feel just like us. You have to meet certain revenue requirements, and it's by invite only. And so 6 years ago, we were tapped on the shoulder and asked to join this agency and really had to dive in and figure out what they were offering. And it allows us to be fully independent. I make 2 phone calls to 2 other decision makers, and we can make a decision based on a client at any time. But UBA gave us the breadth and the depth of what 140 other firms were looking, what they were doing. What does the marketplace look like? What are the cool new tools, accessories, technology, what's out there? But UBA has really changed us for the good. It's part of our secret sauce. And I think our clients see that there's an entity in Chicago that we all have ownership or shareholders of that entity. And it houses our ERISA attorneys, our actuaries, all the things that you would think you would get from a large insurance agency. The funny thing is 99% of the time, you're not going to see those folks. And the reality is if they're bringing them to you, they're going to have the insurance company's best interests in mind, not necessarily yours as a client. And so for us, it was kind of counterintuitive to go hire those people in-house. It didn't really make sense for our clients. And the whole goal is, what can we offer? What can we give our clients back? What can we do to make your life easier? And so we made that investment in UBA, large investment, huge investment, but has paid back tenfold. And hopefully our clients see that. In the beginning of my career is the Affordable Care Act. We walk into a lot of businesses with, in order to qualify, it's 50 or more FTEs or full-time equivalents, and then all of a sudden you apply or you must comply with the Affordable Care Act. And so there's a lot of brokers out there that are still doing the golf trips, that are still doing the steak dinners. They're still, it's still their brother-in-law, whatever it is. And it may be a 20, 30, 40-year relationship. And the reality of the situation is everything changed on March 23rd of 2010. The second that date hit, any prior knowledge that you had in the health insurance industry as far as your employee or your employers or your clients being able to comply, you just had to throw all that out the window. The whole world changed. And so if these older independent agencies didn't make huge changes and huge strides to learn the law, understand it, it's complicated, over 2,000 pages of just, stuff. It's reading at night, going to sleep material, and you've really got to dive into the weeds. And so I'll have conversations with people. I've been with my guy 30 years. It's Jimmy Bob, and every year we go to Colorado. Our families are great, and that's wonderful. I do think that relationships matter, but at some point, as a business owner, you've got to know your numbers. You've got to understand your bottom line, and we're in a hyper-competitive environment. And if you're not utilizing the best of the best, it's going to come out sooner or later. And that's kind of what I've uncovered in my first couple of years as a partner. It's going and just asking the right questions, and that expertise matters. I think it's just huge to be able to walk in and to take an employer from how come I was never told that, to immediately, hey, don't worry, we've got your back. Here's all the different things you need to do. Here's all the tools. And they're up and running the way they should be, immediately, and offering that ability for an employer to sleep at night, not wondering whether or not they're compliant, or whether or not their brother-in-law is doing a great job, or whatever that looks like. I think gone are the days that happy hours are the way that insurance agents get their client. It's going to be about what the best of the best are doing. And in starting this podcast, it's one of those things where I really want it to be interactive. I really just kind of want to sit down and think about some of the creative tools I've used, not only moving from a big company to a partner in a smaller firm, and some of the things I've learned around time management and efficiency, and managing folks and employees, and how that works, and how we operate our business. But, all the way to the creative solutions and some of the things that, we're just out there. There's never a one size fits all solution. Anybody that says we've done it over here before, we'll do it for you, that's just, it doesn't work. You can have some sort of structure to your offer, but your structure should be in your questioning strategy. It shouldn't be in your solution. And so I think it'll be interesting to talk about some of the unique solutions that we've come across with our clients, some of the unique things that I've learned as a business owner, and just share with you guys. We'll be putting this out there on Spotify, on iTunes, on all the different media outlets out there. But want your guys' feedback, want to hear your comments. Would love to hear what you guys want to hear about from me in the future as well. And we'll just kind of see where this thing goes. Should be fun. I'm really excited, and look forward to talking with you guys. My name is Matt Worsham. I'm a partner with Shepard Walton Employee Benefits. Please subscribe.